To our topic of the week, the government's recent decision to increase regional minimum wage has brought a relief to workers as they will have more money to buy basic needs. However, on the contrary, the higher minimum wage upsets industries as it will increase their operating costs. Here's the story.
President Prabowo Subianto announced the increase in the regional minimum wage by 6.5% following a limited cabinet meeting at the State Palace on Friday, November 29. The decision to increase the minimum wage was made following consultative meetings with labor leaders and representatives of related business and industrial organizations. The increase, which exceeds the 6% proposed by the Manpower Minister, is needed to increase the buying power of the people, especially those working in industrial sectors, which has been on the decline amid increase in living costs. Initially, the Manpower Ministry proposed an increase in the minimum wage by 6%. However, the government decided to increase the minimum wage by 6.55 after considering input from labor leaders. Coordinating Minister for Economic Affairs Erlangga Hartarto said rising inflation and the level of economic growth rate are the basis for the government to increase the minimum wage by 6.5%. The government has also studied that the increase will not bring a significant impact of industrial costs, especially if industries are able to improve their cost efficiency. With the increase, the amount of the minimum wage in respective provinces will be different. For example, the new minimum wage in Jakarta will reach 5.4 million rupiah or about $345, while in West Java and Central Java, the new minimum wage will respectively increase to 2.2 million rupiah and 2.7 million rupiah. While workers are happy with the increase, business people are complaining as the increase will further lift their operating costs and make their products less competitive in the market. The chairperson of the Indonesian Employers Associations, Sinta W. Kamdani, said that the 6.5% increase in the minimum wage brings a significant impact on labor costs, especially for labor-intensive industries. According to Sinta, the increase is not timely as it is imposed when most industries are struggling in maintaining their exports amid rising uncertainties in the global economy. Bob Azam, head of Apindo's Manpower Division, said that if industries cannot afford the wage increase, they could make rational measures such as suspending their new investments or business expansion, or they could even carry out unpopular measures such as mass layoffs. Meanwhile, the director of the Center of Economics and Law Studies, or CELIOS, Nailul Huda, said the increase in the wage is needed to boost the people's buying power, which is expected to fall further due to the increase in the value-added tax or VAT to 12% in January. The 6.5% increase in the minimum wage is timely boost people's buying power, although it is still too low to compensate the impact of the increase in the value-added tax.
Let's go to our discussion on economic outlook. Well, President Prabowo Subianto have recently announced a 6.5% increase in minimum wage, and this brings good news but also bad news for businesses and industries. Now, we have our guest, Bapak Tauhid Ahmad. He is a senior researcher at the Institute for Development of Economic and Finance, or INDEF, and we're already connected to Pak Tauhid via video call right now. Pak Tauhid, good morning.
Good morning.
Thank you, Pak Tauhid, for joining us here on Economic Outlook. Pak Tauhid, the Manpower Minister initially has suggested a 6% minimum wage increase, but then President Prabowo Subianto has decided a 6.5% increase in minimum wage instead. Can you tell us what is your opinion on this decision about the timely manner, and is it wise enough considering the condition of our economy right now?
Yeah, of course, 6.5% is too high because Usually, every year, our wage increase more or less about 5 until 4.5%. So if next year the rise until 6.5%, I think it's quite high. Maybe the reason I think to compensate the increase of the value added tax and another increasing of price of fuel or another scheme of to reduce the subsidies. So I think maybe the government to increase these wages to compensate and to increase the consumption of the community and the people and to increase our economic growth. That's why the reason why it is the time. But of course, the impact to the industry or to the business to make their costs increase. So maybe there is huge impact, yeah, to the industry, mostly to industry but labor manufacture. I think that's the pro and contra for our economy.
Well, that's the hope, isn't it? It's so that the
Yeah.
consumption of the people in Indonesia will increase as well as to compensate for the tax rise. Now, even with the 6.5% increase, though, the minimum wage in the most provinces is still pretty low, ranging only from 2.16 million to 2.9 million rupiah a month. Now, Pak Tauhid, do you think such a monthly pay can meet the workers' basic needs? This is the range for the minimum wage outside of Jakarta. What do you think of this number?
Yeah. Minimum wage, every regional, I think is different between surrounding Jakarta with Central Java. I think Central Java is the lowest, yeah, rather than surrounding Jakarta. But the increasing every regional with 6.5%, yeah, I think right now is it's good enough. But to compare between a region, yeah, I think it's not fair because the standard of living is different. Jakarta more expensive rather than West Java, Central Java, or another region. Yeah, but if we can increase the lowest minimum wage in Central Java and also in another region. So the problem is we don't have competitiveness of the industry. So of course the impact is industry moving out from Jakarta to Central Java or to another region because they're searching for the lowest minimum wage. That's the impact. But and then yeah, industry. I think in the future they want to move to another region which is the lowest the low they have the lowest minimum wage. So if we so in someday maybe which is Jakarta and other region will fulfill their basic need, yeah, for the labor who's especially in manufacture.
Now, Pak Tauhid, of course, this is good news for the labor workers across Indonesia. But however, there's also a potential loss for businesses as they say that this increase in the minimum wage will also upset the business people. Now, in your opinion, do you think that this increase will severely hurt the business and the business activities?
Yes, I'm sure this will huge impact to business because in the last quarter, our industry growth less than 5%. Yeah, less than 5% is not enough for our economy. Yeah. To increase this industry or manufacture sector, at least we need 6 until 7%. So to increase the industry sector, we need a stable of the labor policy. So I think because we already need government decree number 13 in 2021. Now we have a new policy. So uncertainty of this policy make some industrial sector confused which rules that they obey to in the future, and how to calculate the minimum wage in the 1 or 2 years, because it's important to them.
Now, Pak Tauhid, in your calculation, how severe is the impact of this minimum pay increase will be on business as well as industrial activities?
Yeah, for the labor-based industry, yeah, at least around less than 20%, the minimum cost of the labor to their production. If the increase in of wages more higher than 5.5%, I think at least they prepare more budget for them. So if the production of if the market right now going down, so I think some industry will more efficient in labor, will I think will reduce the labor, yeah, like in textile or another sector. I think some industry already suffer from last year. For I think after this policy, I think some industry will more suffer, except government give them some incentive, yeah, to reduce the effect of this wage policy.
Pak Tauhid, what else could you suggest in a way that the government could find a middle ground that can make a win-win situation for both the business people as well as the labor workers? What else can the government do to make it more balanced for both sides?
Yeah, I think we already know we have sectoral wages, yeah, for policy, yeah, for some industry. I think this policy not appropriate for industry in the last 1 or 2 years, in the last 2 years that already negative growth, yeah. So I think if their industry already negative growth, maybe the wages not the increasing of these wages is not, it's not high. I think the first choice. The second choice, yeah, government give them incentive fiscal or non-incentive fiscal to this industry, so they keep maintain the numbers of their worker in their industry. I think because to maintain the cost if still stable, so I think give them incentive. And the third one, yeah, I think government give them some social guarantee, like for education or health or another social guarantee. So if something wrong with this industry, or maybe the huge impact to this industry, government ready, yeah, for the impact for this labor, like the PHK massal or another impact. I think this government can do. And also I think the latest one, yeah, government have to support of social, like social safety net, yeah, for the cash or non-cash social safety net for them. I think that's what can do government
So,
do.
yeah, so apparently there are still a lot of homeworks that the government can do to make it more fair for the labor workers across Indonesia. Now, just one last matter, Pak Tauhid. In a global scale, however, the minimum wage in Indonesia is among the lowest in the world, according to the statistics. Now, do you think that the level of the minimum wage in Indonesia is still unfair then for our workers?
Yeah, I think the level minimum wage in Indonesia, yeah, I think we are higher, rather than India, Vietnam, Philippines, Cambodia, but we are I think the lower rather than Thailand, Malaysia, and China. Yeah, of course, it's depend of the productivity. Yeah, if our productivity more higher rather than this country, I think we can increase our minimum wage. Yeah, but sometimes for certain industry, our productivity keep low. So I think for some sector or workers, we have to increase our productivity. Then our minimum wage can increase in the certain year. So I think that's our can do. The second one, I think we have to implement the sectoral wage, yeah, based on the manufacture or non-manufacture sector or services sector. That's different level, yeah. To this policy, I think we can make a fair policy to some worker. Then I think we can increase our level of minimum wage for our workers.
All right then, Bapak Tauhid Ahmad, Senior Researcher at INDEF, thank you so much for sharing us your insights and inputs for today's topic. Have a good day. Thank you.
Thank you.